In today's episode for home sellers, we talk about seller regret and along the same lines, that guaranteed sale programs that real estate agents offer and giving you market value cash for your property.
This is the Inside Real Estate Show, where we give you the insight behind the information so you can make smart home buying, home selling, and real estate investing decisions. And now your host, author, speaker, broker, and investor, Darren Persinger.
And this is episode 46 of the Inside Real Estate Show, only 4 away from the Big 5-0. Episode 46, I am Darren Persinger, co-founder here at Persinger Group, your host behind this show. Thanks for joining me. Whether you're listening to the podcast or you're watching this someplace, I appreciate however you're consuming this content. If this is your first time watching or listening, here's how we do this. I usually have a number of the day or a letter of the day, and then we do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we get into the main topic. And the main topic, if you're a home seller, is an important one. Because the reason why I believe this main topic is important, because at best case scenario, there's a lot of, we'll say, disingenuous or overzealous offers being made. And at the worst case scenario, it's just downright dishonest. And that's not good. So we'll get into that main topic, but first, let's do the number of the day.
What's the number? Stop, stop. What's the number? Stop, stop. What is the number? The number of the day.
30%. It's a percentage. Sometimes a number is a flat out number, sometimes it's a percentage. Today it's 30%. And this number comes from the Zillow Housing Trend Report. I think that's what it's called. One second. Zillow Consumer Housing Trend Report. Now, again, if first time listening, go back and listen to some other episodes. If you're a long time listener, you know that I bring up Zillow every once in a while. And again, it's not because I dislike them personally. I like the data that I collect. I like this report that they put out. It's 164 pages of hard, solid data that they can't get wrong because they brought it in themselves. The problem I have with their website or the way they present themselves, the way consumers think of them, is they think of them as a real estate website, an alternative real estate brokerage, when that's not the truth at all. They're simply a media company. They're no different than CNN or Fox News or MSNBC. They're more or less reporting on the real estate industry. They don't have a lot to do with the real estate industry. You can't buy a home through Zillow. You can't even sell your home through Zillow. It's just a media platform. Simply all it is. So when they share media information, consumer data that they pull together, that I'm a little bit interested in. That I can believe. That I feel like I can trust. And so I'm willing to pass that information on to you. And one of the data points that they share, I find fascinating. It's 30%. When they asked home sellers, what are some things that you regretted about the home selling process? The number one answer was 30% of home sellers said that they wish they would have started to prepare selling their home sooner. Almost a third of sellers said, I wish I would have started preparing my home sooner. And hindsight's 20/20, because one of the things that I see when dealing with our clients with home sellers is what they usually want to know is just, what's my home value? Tell me what my home can sell for. How much is it going to cost me to sell the home? I want to save as much money as possible. And I want to know how much I can get for my home. When really, that's like steps 3 or 4 down the line. And they finally realize that after the fact, unfortunately. So if you're watching the show, you're listening to the show, listen to what other sellers, if you're not going to listen to me, that's fine. but at least listen to your own peers. Other people have sold their home recently. 30% of them said they wish they would have started preparing for the home selling process sooner. Another interesting number, by the way, I'll just throw this out real quickly. 16% said they wish they would have chose a different real estate agent. Eek. All right, let's do some housekeeping, but I will have a link to that report if you want to read through 164 pages of data points. We'll have a link to that report over at InsideRealEstateShow.com. Find this episode, episode 46, and you'll be able to find a link to the Zillow Consumer Housing Trend Reports. Now let's do a little bit of housekeeping.
Housekeeping?
If you're watching, you're seeing me do a little product placement for Persinger Group. Wait a minute. So for those listening, not only do I have a product placement of my coffee mug, I'm getting my sweatshirt in there also. Really getting the product placement going on this episode. Feel good about it. Housekeeping. It's that time of year, pumpkin spice stuff everywhere. Weather's getting a little bit more chilly. Days are getting shorter. Halloween is soon upon us, and then into Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. But with that, there's a lot of fun stuff to do, especially in the Snohomish County area. So we've been creating this content. By the way, if you are looking for, if you're wondering what's going on, what's there to do, what kind of events are taking place, what's something that I can go do for fun, we always are updating our website, snowholife.com. And we probably have 4 to 5 articles of things that you can do this fall, whether it's pumpkin patches or just other events that are taking place. And we'll create a special link that I'll share with you right now. It will be persingergroup.com/fall 2016. All one word, no underscore. So persingergroup.com/fall 2016. We'll have a link, all the links of our most recent articles about things to do in Snohomish County this fall. Now let's get into the main topic. All right, today's main topic is about guaranteed sales. So if you're a home seller that needs to sell quickly, and chances are you're going to end up having that regret like 30% of other home sellers had. If you need to sell quickly, this idea of we guarantee to sell your home, I'm doing air quotes if you're listening, we guarantee to sell your home or we'll pay cash for it. In my experience, there's always a lot of fine print in that offer. So if you're someone that's looking at that, ask what's the fine print? What's the catch? What's the offer? Because what I am 99% confident that they're doing there is they're going to be offering you cash. They're willing to buy your home. Sure, they're willing to buy your home, but it's going to be well below market value. Okay? And that's not good. When your home, the largest asset that you most likely have, and you're going to give it away for 70 cents on the dollar, 80 cents on the dollar, and you're leaving all of that money on the table for the agent that could not get your home sold in the first place to now take advantage of you in that situation, that does not seem like a good deal to me. So whether it's a real estate agent or an investor that's saying, I'm willing to pay cash for your property in order to speed this process up. I'm willing to pay you cash so you don't have to go through putting it on the market and selling it. Here's my take on that next step of putting the home on the market. So, by the way, we'll get sellers asking us this. They'll see our marketing somewhere and they'll be like, hey, do you have a buyer for my property? Look, we got thousands of people searching our website, persingergroup.com, every single month. We probably do have a buyer for it. But here's the thing, as a seller, you don't want me to just dip into my pool of buyers because That's one small group of buyers. The market is everyone out there. So I saw this offer recently from an investor saying, I'll give you cash for your home. By the way, another thing about cash, as a seller, you're always going to get cash. It doesn't matter whether the cash comes from me, a buyer, or from the bank that's loaning me, the buyer, money. You're going to get your cash all at once. So that idea of cash, it just feels, again, best case scenario, disingenuous, worst case scenario, completely 100% dishonest to me. But I saw an investor saying, I'm willing to pay cash. And someone was smart enough to ask, well, what's the catch? How do you determine the value of it? And the investor said, I'm willing to pay market value. Willing to pay market value, how do you define market value if the home never goes on the market? If it never gets offered to the hundreds and thousands of buyers that exist out there looking for a home to decide what are they willing to pay for it? Because right now on certain price points, we're getting multiple offers. There's offers over list price. So even if a real estate agent and you decide our home is worth $350,000, there might be a chance that your home is going to sell for $370,000, $380,000. If the market decides that it's worth that. So when an investor disingenuously or completely dishonestly says, I'm willing to pay you market value, how do you decide what market value is between this person and you? You can't. The market decides what the market value is. And the only way you can determine that is by marketing the property aggressively through the online, through the offline, through the MLS, through a professional real estate agent that is going to push it out there, cast as wide a net as possible to bring as much traffic, as many buyers, as many lookers to that property as possible. And then, and only then, can you decide what the true market value is. Now, I get that maybe you have a sense of urgency. You got to get your home sold quickly because of your reasons are your reasons. I get it. But a home can still sell very quickly. That process can happen very quickly. And I'd hate for anyone, again, when you're dealing with your largest asset, you've put time and money into this property, you've been paying down the principal on it, to just walk away, to give away that much money in equity that could be sitting there simply because you want to sell it a couple of days quicker, or you want the easy way out, that there's one person that's willing to offer you this, when you're leaving an entire group of people that could be willing to offer you more. So just be cautious out there when you hear people that could be disingenuous or completely dishonest. Just realize cash, if I can't sell it, usually means a big drop in the value of your property. Or if someone says, I'm willing to give you market value for it, go, how do we determine market value until I put it on the market? If you want to be one of the people that makes an offer on it after I list with a real estate agent like Persinger Group and they're marketing the property, if you want to put an offer in then that's great. But until then, I want to make as much money as I can on my property. That is the way to separate if someone's being disingenuous or dishonest with you, because market value is market value is market value. And as always, I like to remind you that home is what you make it, so make it someplace you love.
This is the Inside Real Estate Show, where we give you the insight behind the information so you can make smart home buying, home selling, and real estate investing decisions.